I am excited about the show today. I am very excited about the show today because, as you guys know, on this channel, we talk about tech sales. We talk about getting into the tech space. We talk about climbing the ladder, doing the things that are necessary in order for us to ascend in our career and as well as ascend in our financial well being. And a way for you to do that is to make sure that you're getting the proper skills. And a area that you can get some really good skills is in sales, or an area we can learn some sales skills is by going to boot camps or going to training or working with individuals who are in this space already. And in today's show today, I'm going to bring in a fantastic guest who's been in the tech sales space for the last 5 years, and she's absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Many of you guys know that we are a partner to Course Careers as well as to Level Careers. So guys, if you have an interest into breaking into tech sales, go ahead and check out Course Careers, www.coursecareers.com. You will also see the link into the description. Go ahead and check out Level Careers if you are advanced in your sales career. You're looking to close more deals. If you're looking to advance from an SDR, you want to go with Level Careers, www.levelcareers.com. And these two partners of ours will allow for you to take your skills or to break into tech sales, right? To gain the skills to break into tech sales. Also, to advance your skills from out of entry-level tech sales to that of a role of an account executive, account manager, a sales engineer, and so forth, guys. So check out both of those links into the description of this video today. And guys, I'm going to bring in a fantastic guest of mine and have her introduce herself. And this is going to be great because you know what? She's a woman, right? She's crushing it. And a lot of the times when I bring in sales folks, they're men, right? They are men. But I want to get a perspective from a high performing sales professional who's doing it at a top notch company. So, guys, welcome my guest, my wonderful guest, Mrs. Kayla Burke. How are you doing, Kayla? How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me on. Pleasure to be here and talk to everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time from out of your Saturday, out of your busy Saturday. I know you're busy to come on this platform and to share your knowledge and your background in the tech sales. So, Caleb, before we dive into tech and sales and stuff like that, give the audience a brief background or introduce yourself, Miss Caleb. Go ahead and introduce yourself for my audience.
Awesome. So, my name is Kayla Bird. I am a 28-year-old seller here in the Atlanta area. I currently work for Microsoft, and I am in enterprise sales. So, if you don't know what enterprise sales is, it is kind of like the biggest accounts that you can work on within the tech industry. So, very blessed to be in that position. But just a little about myself. I started off in college. I actually went to school for tech. I had this vision long before everybody online was kind of like jumping into it, but I actually did not know I was going to go into sales. So I only went to school for tech originally. I went to the Florida State University
Hmm.
in Tallahassee, Florida. So go
Great school.
Noles. And we won a championship. I was there. So that was some fun while I was learning some tech. But yeah, just overall, I was going to school. My degree was in information communication technology.
Mm.
Initially, I was really torn between like communications or technology. I was actually going to be a computer engineer. I was trying to do something super deeply technical initially. And I had an internship that I did. And my first year was like, okay, I'm going to try a communications internship the first summer. And then I'll do a tech internship after to kind of like position myself because when you get to college you don't really choose your major just out the gate. You have a year where you're just taking general courses like everybody's taking your math, your English, whatever, and then you
Yep.
have to make a decision
Yep.
on where you want to go. So I was trying to level out and really understand like what path would be best for me. But I lived on a computer. Like I used to code like MySpace layouts. My high school required us to have a computer every day to come to school. So it was just a natural innate thing for me to always be on a computer. So going to college, I was like, well, I'm super extroverted and I'm just like, I don't consider myself, which is a stigma in tech, right? Like a nerd kind of like, I didn't consider myself this like quiet, like person who wanted to sit on their computer all day. And at that point, I wasn't aware of sales. Like I didn't know when I was in college, they were saying you could be an engineer, you could be an analyst. You know, they were teaching us the basic stuff. Nobody was like keeping the biggest secret in the closet out, like, oh, you can also go sell. If you don't want to build it or develop it, you can also go make tons of money, more money than those people selling the product, you know what I mean, to tons of people. And I didn't really have the knowledge at that point to even think, okay, well, communications, the fact that you enjoy connecting with people and having these relationships, that would essentially drive where I was at in technology later in the future. But yeah, my first job out of school was at Tyson Foods. I moved to Arkansas, y'all. It was crazy out there in the middle. I ain't gonna shade you because you out there, but I was just like, wow, culture shock. I'm from South Florida, so that was a major culture shock for me going to work for a chicken company in tech in the Midwest, you know, but really great experience, which then I was able to leverage to go to IBM to get my first sales job. So I went through a program called the Summit program that IBM has. It's a very popular program for a lot of sellers who come into tech sales fresh out of school. And essentially, that was able to develop my skills. So I went to IBM. I applied for 8 months. The interview process was really, really long,
Wow.
very extensive. The last day of interviews was like a hire day. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but some companies, like the big tech companies, they'll have an in-person hire day where after you've done all the interview processes, you come in for like a final round of interviews, you meet the hiring managers, and they kind of make that final decision. So they flew me down to Atlanta, which was where I wanted to be in the Hotlanta. And I was like, I'm gonna go get this job today. I'm coming back and I'm moving. So that was in 2018. 2017 was when I was applying, and I began to really be into a tech sales role by 2018. And essentially, at first, they made me, because I had a technical background, a sales engineer, which is I wasn't
And
always.
pause, Miss Kayla, for a quick second. What's up, Ladder Climbers? This is Antoine Wade. I wanted to interrupt this video to talk to you guys about Course Careers. Course Careers is the place that you guys need to go if you have a high interest into tech sales. They will help you gain the skills that you need so that you can enter the tech sales world to make a whole bunch of money. Tech sales salaries early on is about $60,000, guys. That's a good salary. And with OTEs, you can make anywhere from $85,000 to $90,000. If you have an interest in tech sales, check out Course Careers, link in the description. And don't forget to use Antoine50 so that you can get a $50 discount off of Course Careers. See you guys in tech sales. I love that because you did not necessarily go directly into a AE role right away. But even before then, you said something, Mrs. Kayla, right? You talked about your background, information communication technology. And, you know, one of the things that I talk about on this channel, Ms. Kayla, is this management information systems, which is, you know, the study of, you know, how you can help businesses become more efficient in the using technology and so forth. It's a combination of a business degree as well as a technical degree as well, too, right? And the reason why I chose that degree was very similar to you, right? I grew up in a household, Kayla, where my grandmother kind of instilled in us that if you wanted to be a high level, high earner, you had to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. So very similar to you, I went into my first year of college as a computer engineer major. And yeah, exactly. Right. I did the exact same thing. Right. And I made the transition because I left FAU at that time, came back to Wisconsin and so forth. And of course, they don't have the same sort of majors and so forth. And I looked up and found information systems, management information systems. But going back to your program, talk about the ICT program at Florida State, right? Because, you're 28. You're early in your career, crushing it already. But a good part of you even getting there was choosing the right path from an education standpoint. So talk about what went in. You talked about when you first went to Florida State, first couple years, hey, your thought process was, hey, I don't know what I'm majoring in. but I have to take these general classes. How did you come across the ICT, information communication technology major, and what persuaded you to go that direction?
So they actually created that major after my freshman year, which was just perfect timing because I was really torn, like I said, between communications and IT. So I get back to school and they're like, well, we have ICT, information communication technology. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, this is literally what I want to do. So, what does that curriculum consist of, right?
Mm,
So, it was essentially taking account planning, marketing, advertising, but at the same time, taking coding, like Java classes, PHP classes, database
mm,
management, ERP, like learning everything of all different areas. So data, coding, you know what I mean? Like HTML, CSS, graphic design, which gave me a very broad sense of technology. And I do like that I did that because I didn't get stuck and funneled or like cornholed, I guess you can say, like into one specific area of technology. It gave me the power when I graduated to really land any kind of role in technology, which was
mm,
really important
mm,
because not saying that if you go to school as a computer engineer or something that you cannot pivot, but your focus for those 4 years are very dedicated and very specific, whereas
mm,
I got a taste of everything. So
mm,
that allowed me to really say, okay, I love communications, and now I have this strong technical background. My thing, honestly, leaving school was more so how can I become somebody who can enhance maybe like digital technology, help people and end users communicate. I was more so into like the communication aspect, like as
mm,
an end user, how can you communicate more effectively on an app? Or that was like the area that kind of like sparked my interest.
mm,
But I ended up becoming a business analyst just because I already, honestly, I had got a job. I did an internship. They offered me the job before. And I was just like, look, I'm trying to go back my last year and have some fun. I've been working hard for 4 years. I already signed my contract. It's kind of like, like I'm going to the league now. So I'm good. I'm good here. I can do what I want to do for the last 6 months of my college career, which was, it was great. But I would say it really just was alignment. It was kind of perfect timing. I came back from LA. I had done a communications internship. And one thing I had noticed was the pay was significantly different. Like I was in a mixed major, but
mm,
communications and marketing was not paying entry level what tech was. So there
mm.
was this balance of like, do you want to come out and make 60 to 80? Or do you want to make maybe like 40 to 60? And I was like, tilting towards the tech side. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit more on the money side where I'm looking to be. So let me get into, the tech side a little bit more and take the tech position. So that's kind of how I made that decision on what path to kind of navigate. But the curriculum was essentially both, and it's really powerful today because I'm a content creator and an influencer as well as in my position. So being able to have those skill sets of designing, editing videos, all of those are technical skills, and I'm still applying for my personal endeavors. Yet it all really stemmed from me being able to take that major and kind of combined both of those skill sets. So I think it really worked out really well.
No, it did. It absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.